What do you mean by the jurisdiction of civil courts? In this video, we are going to understand the concept of jurisdiction of civil courts. So, let's begin. Under Civil Procedure Code, a court has all the jurisdiction to try all civil suits unless it is barred, and it is given in Section 9 of CPC. So, what is exactly Section 9? Let's see. Section 9 Courts to try all civil suits unless barred. The courts shall, subject to the provisions herein contained, have jurisdiction to try all suits of a civil nature, excepting suits of which their cognizance is either expressly or impliedly barred. Explanation 1. A suit in which the right to property or to an office is contested is a suit of a civil nature, notwithstanding that such right may depend entirely on the decision of questions as to religious rites or ceremonies. Explanation 2. For the purposes of this section, it is immaterial whether or not any fees are attached to the office referred to in explanation 1, or whether or not such office is attached to a particular place. Explanation 2 in section 9 has been added by the Amendment Act of 1976. By going through this definition, we can say that for a civil court to try a civil suit, two conditions must be fulfilled. The first condition is that the suit must be of a civil nature, and the second condition is that the suit should not be expressly or impliedly barred. Now let's understand the meaning of civil nature, expressly barred, impliedly barred. What does all this mean? Let's begin with these things. So, first of all, let us start with the meaning of the term suit of a civil nature. What we have seen, the first condition was that in order for a court to try a suit, the first condition is it should be of a civil nature. So, what is the exact meaning of the term civil nature? Is the word civil defined anywhere in the code? No, it is not defined anywhere in CPC. So, what does it mean? If you refer to some standard dictionary, we can say that civil means private rights and remedies of a particular individual or some group of individuals. The word nature means the fundamental qualities of a person or thing. So we have understood the meaning of the term civil nature. So let's move further. Civil nature and civil proceedings. These are the two terms. Civil nature is more broader than the concept of civil proceedings. Thus, a suit is of a civil nature if the principal question is related to determination of rights and its enforcement. It is not the status of the parties to the suit, but the subject matter of it which determines whether a suit is of a civil nature. A suit in which the principal question relates to caste or religion, that suit is not of a civil nature. But if the principal question in a suit is of a civil nature, such as the right to a property or right to office, and the adjudication incidentally involves the determination relating to a caste question or religious rites and ceremonies, it does not ceases to be a suit of a civil nature, and the jurisdiction of a civil court is not barred. Before this explanation, there was a divergence of judicial opinion as to whether a suit relating to a religious office to which no fees or emoluments were attached can be said to be a suit of a civil nature. But the legal position has now been clarified by explanation 2, which expressly provides that a suit relating to a religious office is maintainable whether or not it carries any fees or whether or not it is attached to a particular place. Some of the suits which are of a civil nature are suits relating to right to property, suits relating to rights of worship, suits for damages for civil wrongs, suits for specific reliefs, suits for rents, and many other. And suits which are not of civil nature are suits which has principal question of principal question regarding to religion. Suits against expulsion of caste, suits for upholding mere dignity or honor, and many others. Now, let's understand the concept of suits not barred. We have seen that barring can be expressed as well as implied. A suit is said to be expressly barred when it is barred by any enactment for a time being. On the other hand, a suit is said to be impliedly barred when it is barred by principles of law. For example, where a specific remedy is given in a statute, then that person will be barred to bring a suit in the civil court for other remedies other than that which is given already in the statute. Similarly, there are other suits, though they are of civil nature, but are barred from bringing in the court of law in civil courts because of public policy. Now, a very important question arises regarding the civil suit as what should be the presumption made, whether the suit is barred or not barred. The rule is that the presumption should be made in the favor of court that it is not barred. The court, that civil court, has jurisdiction to try such suit. So, who has the burden to prove that such a suit is barred? The burden of proof is upon the party who seeks to oust the jurisdiction of the civil court.